We come to you in love. Please know that there are many of us here with you now, a huge community of light beings who are honored to speak to you and excited to hold space for you during this transition in which so many of you are curious. And so we bring to you a picture and a story of beings who have inhabited this land you call Earth for many thousands of years, and before that for many thousands of years, and before that for many thousands of years, because indeed there have been multiple worlds that have existed on this planet prior to the world that you all have created. Each one of them has had their own difficulties, their own wins, and eventually their own losses. As you have seen in your world as well, in your creation of what you are living now. And in fact, the creation that you have built for yourselves here is one that is far more vast, taking up the entire planet in a way that hasn't been done before. Other worlds have created some smaller pockets or larger pockets, but you have indeed claimed the entire planet as your own and are living multiple realities all over the planet at the same time. And we know you understand this because when you look back at the year of the COVID situation, you know that everybody's experience was their own experience within this vast experience that took over the entire planet. Countries were different, and towns were different, and homes were different. And so this is occurring constantly all the time on your planet, where there may be an overarching theme, but everybody's perception of reality is their own. This, to all of us, feels much larger of a situation, much more expansive than we have witnessed before on the planet called Earth through human beings' evolution. This evolution is, shall we say, the potentially grand finale of the biggest show on the stage. As human beings are now, your history is one of slavery and control. This exists within your DNA patterns. It started when other planetary beings recognized the ability to mix animals or primates that existed with DNA of their own to enhance both a physical experience as well as strength, and strength in numbers that would be supportive of their needs and desires. And over these thousands, tens of thousands of years, human beings have been growing up out of that reality, waking up out of that reality, and now what you experience is that the actual DNA in your system is opening, being unlocked, being awakened or lit up in a way that allows you to remember your soul expression without the sense of being controlled or enslaved. And so this awakening that has been spoken of is this moment in time when DNA is switching on and human beings are recognizing their needs and desires separate from the norm or the value system of society for the first time. And we sit out of your field of vision, out of your dimensional awareness, apart from you, and yet beaming our love and protection to you as we witness the slow waking up and the eyes opening and seeing for some for the first time. Again, as you think about everyone in your life, you know that everyone is sort of doing this at their own pace, waking up in their own time, some not at all yet, others more so. And so we again say that this world that you have created is one in which each separate human experience is its own sovereign experience and is to be honored as such, never criticized, but honored from a place of, it is so beautiful that you decide to go slow, that you are not yet ready, and that you are someone who is holding space for the planet, and everybody will be at their own time. And yet everybody will click on at some moment. And the reason we come to you to speak over and over and over again is to ensure that you are not afraid. Because what occurs as you wake up at first is a bit of fear of, oh my gosh, where have I been? What has been happening? I didn't know about that. These secrets that are coming out are in some ways curtains that have been drawn over your own identity, curtains that have been drawn over your own DNA that are opening so that you can see what you have all created. And it can be terrifying when you realize what you've created. So fear not, because it's in the knowing of this that you can begin to turn away and create yet something different. Does anybody want to speak to that in any way or ask for more clarification of any of that?
I do think discernment comes in to everything that's unfolding right now, even this, because there's a lot of different narratives going on, and I know, like, we have to trust our own feelings and gut, but, like, suggestions.
Yes, discernment is a heart connection. It is the ability to tap into the vibration of truth, which is a singular vibration. There may be many appearances of truth, but the vibration stays the same. And it is in the awakening that is happening that the heart taps into truth much more quickly and easily. Where some people are still believing certain stories or certain people, there are others who have tapped into this very clear frequency. So let me take this back to this creation that we've made for ourselves here. Within the vastness of this planet, within the vastness of all of the stories and the societies and the countries and the ways of life, there have also been on this planet those that are still wanting to control humanity. They still want to make inroads and have followers. They can be very enticing, but they do not hold the frequency of truth. They hold other frequencies that tap into or lock into other frequencies of fear that many people carry. And this has gone on for eons. This is not new. This is now, though, becoming more obvious to some, where there are these beings that exist only to receive what they want from the planet, and they do so through the fear frequencies that cause people to desire to be taken care of in those ways. As the DNA lights up, as the heart awakens to something different, there is a noticeable friction in those frequencies, a noticeable friction.
Can they talk? So I think many of us feel the shift in the DNA and the changing of the DNA, and I wonder if there's any messages about how to integrate with grace and ease or what we can expect around that.
We advocate for connecting to the earth during this time because the earth is also awakening within the DNA. To be clear, the earth herself is a living, breathing being. In fact, she is a conglomerate of light beings who have come together to build a living planet. She is also undergoing her own transformation that is moving her vibration up in frequency as well. And so the human body connecting to the earth through feet or sitting or hiking or swimming or camping, rain, being out in the rain, anything that you choose that feels so right for you is a way to soothe your system. And so I'm going to just tell you what I'm seeing because I don't know these words, but like bring the decibel down, like the discomfort, the decibel of the discomfort you're bringing down through connection to the earth. As you know, in your community, your society, there is a return to, may we say, Aboriginal values of sacred connection through sound, movement, internal toning sound, plant medicine. These are all ways to help the body recalibrate itself when there's a sense of feeling off. And by off, what we mean is that sense of yesterday I was fine, and today it seems that much has shifted and I don't know where to put my direction yet. And that movement, which honestly at this moment in time occurs for you often throughout the day, like it's coming faster and more often it's almost in bombardment time to the point where you're noticing it less because it's occurring more. That returning to these Aboriginal ways of praying, which are connected to earth, connected to your own spiritual vibratory pattern that moves through the midline of you. It's your center. These things return you to center by calming the body's nervous system way down. The worst thing to do in these situations is worry and fear and decide that something is wrong. That will take you far out of alignment, it will take you into external, ways of taking care of yourself that may or may not be fitting for what is happening internally. And it will keep you out of the ability to discern. And so again, returning to sound, and they're showing me drumming, returning to humming, returning to singing, returning to dance and somatic movement. These will bring you back into self in such a way that spirit is reconnected to body, and it's beautiful and perfect. And from there, if you notice you're not healthy, that's where you use your humanity to get well. There are times when pain is associated more with what has been stuck in the body than it is with any diagnosis that medicine has come up with. So we start here to say that everyone has emotions and life choices, so maybe regret, but anger, resentment. They're doing this. Resentment gets so pushed down. Resentment, this anger that's so hard and pressing. They're showing me grief that's crushing and causes an inner rotation. These exist within everybody to some extent. And when you are awakening into this next version of your own expression of self, the body needs these things out. The body offers an opportunity to learn about the histories that you have chosen and where you have left them unprocessed and unhealed. This can be very simple. This does not have to be 6 months. This does not have to be in the hospital. This is touching. They keep showing me hips, and I know that's for me, but I also know for women in general, hips, oh my gosh, there's so much in our hips, so much emotion. So they're showing touching and receiving the willingness to breathe into every place on your body, every place in your body, the willingness to breathe into every single organ and every single gland and every single pathway, to relearn yourself and then move on to the next part, the next piece. And this will be a way for your body to stop offering you the signal that this needs to clear. The body says, I cannot hold on to everything that's old and become something new. I must release it. There's a way that the psyche holds old pain as a truth. Okay, so we go into psychology here, that our experiences create our perceptions, which create our reality. When we have old trauma that's stuck, it doesn't even have to be huge trauma. It's just, I'm using that word as like wounding. Let's say wounding. When you have this old wounding that's stuck, the psyche believes in it as present day, being present time. As you move breath and awareness and breath and awareness and breath and awareness through the systems of the body, the joints, the blood, the organs, you repeat, it comes up as present moment feeling that can then be recognized as a past experience that no longer exists. And you are welcome to imagine that past experience as if it is its own thought cloud, that you then hand up to us or your healing guides, literally, and say, please bring this into the light. Then, to complete the process, call in all of your pieces, all of your parts, and all of the fragments that are ready to come back, and reconnect in. Meditation, too, is of primary importance now because of the mind's confusion over what you feel and what you see and what you know. And meditation quiets that down at best, brings everything into a state of quiet where there's only the now moment. And this now moment is different than any other moment that you've experienced and is the moment in which to stay, no matter where you are or what you are doing. This now moment brings you to the next moment. And at this time of the world, the future is not written the way the future used to be written. There was more of a trajectory that the world was on. The trajectory now is one of novelty, newness, self-regulation, self-perpetuation. This does not happen outside of community. This is part of a creation of something brand new within community. We are not saying only do for you and forget everyone else. We are not saying spiritually bypass what is horrible happening on the planet. We are not saying turn away from the pain. We are saying stay in the moment and you will be guided to your next moment. And only your higher self knows what that is. So the need to begin to rely upon the ego less of the time. The ego wants crisis and chaos so it can prove itself as in control. The ego was never meant to be in control. The higher self is always in control and does not speak. The higher self guides from one moment to the next and opens doors in front of you that were previously closed, or has you turn a corner that you've never been down before. And the more you work with meditation and training of being in this now moment, the more easily guided you will be, and your life will become, perhaps, what you cannot even know of today.